Hey besties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Javell and today I have an exciting video for you guys. I have a book video, and I know it might sound a little bit nerdy, but I swear, okay, we're not nerds over here. We got some good stuff. So a couple months ago I made a video. It was a morning routine video. Definitely go check that out because it's so good. I'm really proud of it. But in that video I was basically talking about how much I really want to get back into reading, because when I was in high school I used to be such a reader. I used to be obsessed with reading. I feel like that was mostly like my high school career. Like I would just be reading books every single day, but I kind of just fell out of love with reading because college kind of ruined that for me. I would be reading these boring long books that I didn't even understand, and I feel like I just didn't really have time for like reading for pleasure. So now that I'm out of college and I have a little bit more free time, I've refound my love for reading, and so I'm here to share with you guys the books that made me fall back in love with reading. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so first we're gonna start with the book that started it all, which is this book. If you're a TikTok user, you know this book. It is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, and I feel like every girl like my age group, or just like teenage to early 20s, is obsessed with Coho. All Coho stans, go ahead and comment down below. Alright, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about this book. So the two main characters are Lily and Ryle, and Lily just recently graduated college. She moved to Boston and she's kind of just looking to find her next move. You know, what is she gonna do? She went to like start a business, and then she meets Ryle. They start a relationship and it's going good. It's very fun, it's great, and enters her old boyfriend from high school, and so obviously there's a love triangle trope going on. And I don't want to give too much away because I don't want there to be any spoilers, but when I tell you this book wrecked me, I have not cried about a book in years, and this book had me sobbing. Like, not even just like that's kind of sad, but like I was like boohoo crying. And I feel like this book is so good because it also like helped me understand situations, especially for somebody who's also like been in a toxic relationship before. This book kind of helped me understand why I would make some of the decisions in, you know, that situation. So I feel like this book kind of just help you learn a little bit about yourself, or just like about even situations that you've never been in. It kind of helps you have more empathy for people who have been in those situations that like you might not have understood, you know, the best. So definitely look up the trigger warnings, because I don't want to say it because it might give the plot away, okay? But it's so good. I definitely recommend. It's a little bit spicy. I would say like level 1 spice, but like it's nothing too crazy. But I do love a good Coho, so like but definitely I feel like this book is so entertaining. Like, even if you're not a reader and you're just trying to like, you know, read occasionally, this book will kind of make you want to read more. So this kind of started my journey, and so It Ends With Us kind of starts my reading journey slash obsession slash addiction, whatever you want to call it. And then I think I purchased this on Amazon, but then I went out and got this on Amazon, and this book is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I feel like I didn't really have the same reactions as the girls that recommended this book had. They were like sobbing. It was recommended by the girls on TikTok, but they were like sobbing about this book. But I don't know, I just wasn't very emotionally connected to this book. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about what The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is about. So Evelyn Hugo is a Hollywood icon. She is, you know, a Hollywood star from the 50s, and her team basically chooses this new writer who writes for a magazine to do an expose, like a deep expose on Evelyn Hugo, you know, basically going into detail about her life. And the plot twist, the twists and turns, it's a lot, okay? And it's some stuff that I didn't really see coming. I've never really read a book like this because I'm more of like a romance girl, okay? I want the guy to fall in love with the girl, and I want to, you know, I want a little bit of spice, I want a little bit of drama, which this has a lot of drama in it, a lot of plot twist that I was not expecting. But yeah, so she reaches out to Monique. They decide to do like an expose over a couple days. So Monique would be like interviewing Evelyn Hugo, kind of getting like a detailed, you know, something about her life, you know, something for the magazine. But then I don't want to give any spoilers, but then Evelyn Hugo basically tells Monique like, I don't want to, you know, do anything with the magazine. Like, I want to do something with you. And Monique is like, I believe she was like a biracial girl. So like, she's definitely trying to create some kind of legacy for herself. Monique is also recently like divorced. Hold on, let me read the description on the back so I don't, you know, give away too much, but like give you guys a good little idea of what this book is about. Reclusive Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life, okay, T. But when she chooses an unknown magazine reporter, Monique Grant, to write her story, no one is more astounded than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jump off her career, Monique listens in fascination. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s, to leaving show business in the 1980s, and of course the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. But as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear her life intersects with Monique's own in a tragic and irreversible ways. Written back with Reed's signature talent for creating complex, likable characters, this is a mesmerizing journey through the splendor of old Hollywood into the sober realities of the present day as 2 women struggle with what it means and what it costs to face the truth. Y'all, this book took it took me a while to read just because I don't know, at some points like I would kind of just like get a little bit bored, but I feel like the plot twists were like, they were so worth it. It literally had me, the last maybe like 100 pages had me just laying on my bed and I would not move. I would not like get up to take a snack, to drink some water. Like I just could not stop turning these pages. They were so good. It literally had me in a chokehold. This book, let me see how many pages it is. It's about 385 pages, but definitely recommend, especially if you're not looking for like, you know, actual like deep romance stuff, then like this is a nice little segue, nice little segue. But yeah, this book is pretty good. I did not cry though. I would rate this like a 4 stars, 4 stars, 4 to 5 stars. Alright, so after that book, I went ahead and I purchased this at Target, and this also came highly recommended by the girls of TikTok. You know, like I will always listen to my people of TikTok, and I feel like that is my downfall, okay? But this book is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I don't know how to say her name. Alright, so I'll tell you guys what this book is about and then I'll tell you my feelings, my thoughts, my opinions on it. So, The Spanish Love Deception, the 2 main characters are Catalina Martin and Aaron, like I don't remember his last name, Blackford. Okay, that name sounds very fake. Catalina is from Spain, but she recently migrated to the US. I believe they lived in New York, and it's kind of giving enemies to lovers trope, but like you can tell from the beginning of the story that like Aaron is obsessed with her. He loves her, but she's like, oh, I don't know, like he hates me. Girl, cut it out. But anyway, so basically they both work at like the same place, and like she hates him and she believes like he hates her. And then it also has a little bit of like fake dating in it, or actually the whole plot is fake dating. And so Catalina's sister is getting married and she needs a date because she already told her family, she told her mom and her sister that like, I have a boyfriend in America, I have a date coming to your wedding. She does not have a boyfriend, she does not have a date. And so Aaron basically offered to be her date, and I don't want to spoil it too much, I'm not going to get too into it, but it literally takes us on a journey. And I have a lot of comments, opinions on this book, because though I really enjoyed it, for like the first 300 pages I was kind of just like, okay girl, where is the tea? When are we gonna get into it? Because I don't know, I just feel like it had like a really slow start, and I also feel like the writing in the beginning was so weird. Like it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like Wattpad. If you guys don't know what Wattpad is, then you're probably too young for this video. No, I'm kidding. But like, if you don't know what Wattpad is, I feel like back in the day, people used to write like fan fictions on it, or just like crazy stories, and it would literally be like 15-year-old girls like getting really graphic like sex stories or whatever. And I don't know, I feel like the beginning of the story was just so cringe, and it felt very much like somebody's 15-year-old daughter wrote it, which like I'm not the biggest like book snob. I'm very easily entertained, so like I'm not gonna pick apart anybody's writing or whatever, but like the first part, just like the first couple pages, I was just like, whose 15-year-old sister wrote this? Who? But anyway, I was very entertained by this book. I finished it in like 2 days, and it was very good, and I kind of liked it. It was very much a slow burn. When I say slow, a slow burn, like nothing happened for like the first 300 plus pages, and I feel like this book did not need to be, wait, let me see. This book is 440 pages, and it didn't really get into the spice till like 300 plus pages, which kind of sucked because I feel like it didn't need to be that long. But also I feel like this book kind of just gave me like the giggles. Like every little thing that would happen, I would just be like, so like, I don't know, like it just made me feel so, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but yeah, like if you like just like getting like butterflies, I feel like this book made me have like a lot of butterflies, or like the giggles. And I don't know, it's so funny. I made my boyfriend read a page out of this last night, and he was like, I can't believe this is what you're reading. So it has a little bit of spice in there, not a lot, not enough for 300 plus pages to just get into, but I did enjoy this very much, so I will give this like a 3.5 stars. Very good though, I really liked it. It's very fun. So if you like a fun book with a little bit of spice and like a fake dating trope, then this is for you. Alright, so all these books I'm mentioning right now I read in March, so this is kind of like my March book roundup. But this next book, this next book that I read is The Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Love her, she is queen. I feel like her books are just so easy to read. But this book basically takes us on the journey of Miles and Tate Collins, and Miles Archer is Tate's older brother's best friend, and Tate has recently moved in with her older brother, and she meets Miles, and she's kind of just like, you're annoying, but like you're really hot. I want you. You're really hot. And so her and Miles eventually decide to have a little friends with benefits situation, because Miles is like, girl, I don't do relationships, so like we can go to Pound Town, but like nothing more. And obviously you know how friends with benefits kind of things go. Okay, they usually don't end in the favor of like both people. It usually goes bad for someone, and it kind of takes us on the journey of that. I don't want to give too much away again because I don't want this to be a spoiler, but like I really want to do a video where we kind of just talk in details about the books, like, you know, a spoiler filled video. So if you guys want that, because it's really hard for me not to get into details about it, not to get my full opinions on the characters without giving too much away. But this book basically takes us on the journey of Miles and Tate, and I love Tate's character. This book to me was at least like a 3 spice, a three on the scale of spice. Okay, it was very spicy. I really liked it, and I don't know, I feel there were some things in there that I do have some questions about it, especially in Miles's past, because I'm like, that's kind of weird. I can't say what it is because it will be a spoiler, but when you read it, you will know what I'm talking about. Okay, you'll be like, now why were you doing that? But it basically tells us the point of view of both Tate and Miles. So Tate gives us the present, she's kind of just telling us what's going on right now, and then with Miles it gives us his reality, but like 7 years ahead. Yeah, so 7 years in the past, or 7 years ago. Yeah, does that make sense? So basically this book gives us the point of view of both Tate and Miles, but like Tate's point of view is the present moment, and then Miles' point of view is 7 years ahead, or like 7 years in the past, which is really nice because it kind of helps us kind of come to understand Miles a little bit more and why he is the way he is, which I really like that she did that. This book did not make me cry or anything like that. It was mostly like very good though. Like I finished this book in like a day. Yeah, literally like 4 hours, 5 hours. It was so good. It is 322 pages, but I finished this in a day just because it was so good and I couldn't put it down. Colleen Hoover books be having me in a chokehold. I cannot help myself, okay? All right, so the last book I read in March is November 9th by Colleen Hoover. At this point, I definitely know I'm gonna read all her books and then I'm gonna be so sad. So November 9th basically takes us on the journey of Fallon and Ben, and they basically met in a restaurant on the date of November 9th, and the second they met, the second they made eye contact, they were instantly very attracted to each other, and so they decided to spend the entire day of November 9th together. And on the date of November 9th, Fallon has plans. She's planning to move the next day across the country from California to New York, and so they know they would never see each other again, so they kind of just made up the plan to meet every year on November 9th. And Ben's like an author, so he plans on writing a book about, you know, their love, their very passionate love, and so they decide to meet like every year on November 9th, and that's pretty much all I can tell you. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of trial and tribulations. When I tell you the plot twist of this book, it had me fucked up. This book had me so upset, but at the same time I'm like, okay, I need more. I need more. The emotions that I went through, that's the thing I love about books, is that like I feel like you go through everything that the characters are feeling, especially if it's an author that's like a good author. I feel like I was going through everything that Fallon was feeling. Like when she was angry, I was angry too. When she was sad, I was feeling down bad. This book, I literally finished it in like a couple of hours because it was so good. I loved this book so much, but it was so twisted. I was like, I don't know, like this book had me confused because I loved Ben, but at the same time I was just like, this is so weird. I don't know what to think, but I loved it. There's a lot of plot twists in there, and like literally all the plot twists that happened I did not see coming. I was in distress, but nevertheless, such a good book. I would rate it, let me see, I didn't rate it on my Goodreads, but I would probably rate it like a 4 out of 5, just because I wish it had a little bit more spice. Like I love my books with a little bit of spice, okay, a little bit of smut. But that's pretty much it. If you guys want any more book videos from me, please comment down below, or if you want me to do any kind of like reading challenges, anything, I'll definitely do an April roundup. I already have my other Colleen Hoover book that I'm reading right now. I literally just started it like yesterday, but I only read a couple pages because I was busy, but I'm reading maybe someday, and this book already has my heart, okay? I'm only like 26 pages in, but I'm already obsessed. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you guys liked it because I really want to do more book content on my channel. So if you guys like it, definitely comment down below and let me know. Let me know. I love you guys so much. Bye.
Ooh, I'm gonna pull up study to the side. She keep coming at me every day and night. When I left it, my life started feeling right.